framing foods as bad or good, you know, it's important to know that there's a reason that we have these physical bodies. Like, we're spiritual creatures, but there's a reason that we came to the earth. There's a reason that we have physical bodies, and it's to figure out how we interact with the actual physical environment. And the environment is always like our cells, our bodies are always expressing like what is around us. And so years ago, when I was, you know, addicted to the Ben and Jerry's, the fast food, you know, staying up late at night all the time, like my environment was giving me my reflection. And that was through anxiety and depression and acne problems and inflammation, loss of muscle mass, a lot more weight on me. And so, you know, it's important, and it's kind of crazy because, like, the work of Joe Dispenza is, if you haven't looked him up and, like, seen what he's doing, he's absolutely amazing. He documents the science of spirituality, so meditation and what your thoughts can do, how your thoughts influence your biochemistry, which is incredible. And you know, they've done muscle testing for people doing meditations and thinking about doing exercise, and their muscles actually grow on their body, which is crazy, right? You know, but I do think that, you know, we do come to the physical world to experience like what a physical body is like. And, you know, the biochemistry doesn't lie. You know, these foods like the seed oils and stuff, they cause havoc at the cellular level. We know this. And as much as I would love to eat whatever I could eat, no matter what, and just think positive thoughts about it, I've tried to do that before in the past, and it hasn't worked out for me, you know. And going towards the whole foods that are anti-inflammatory, full of nutrients, right, full of the amino and fatty acid profiles, those foods have provided me with cellular safety. They've given me energy, and, you know, cleared up my skin, boosted my immune function with the help of my thoughts, with the help of things like meditation, and getting in the sunlight and exercise. Exercise is the most powerful anti-inflammatory tool that we have that you can use, especially like resistance training. And really at the cellular level, the way that the amino and fatty acids work, they are kind of like twins with resistance training, right? Triplets with the sun, quadruplets with grounding, you know, like they all are. When you're communicating and using all these different habits, you're going towards the same healing pathways, right? The same healing pathways that Ozempic uses, except when you are using natural forces, you're not setting a false trigger in the body. So I tried to explain this before. Ozempic is a false trigger for the body. That's why people tend to lose a lot of muscle mass. And it's super important if you're on a drug, a medication like this, it's so important to know that you need to engage with physical exercise and higher protein intake. There are great doctors that talk about this, like Dr. Gabrielle Lyon. She's absolutely wonderful. So if you are on a medication like this, you just have to know that there's side effects to any and all medications, no matter what. These are inorganic molecules that are mimicking organic processes. And so because they're inorganically produced, they have inorganic side effects, right? When you do organic actions, organic habits, there are no side effects, right? So our food is our most powerful medicine. If you're able to get those amino and fatty acids in, powerful, powerful medicine, right? Magnesium is like included in 500 reactions in the body. It's just amazing. Like, you know, potassium, sodium, calcium, it's like all of these, like if I didn't have magnesium and potassium and calcium, like I couldn't even flex my wrists like this, right? Like I couldn't blink, I couldn't function, right? You know, you've ever seen an open casket at a funeral and people are stiff? And this stiffness is a lack of nutrients, right? The body completely stops. There's no energy running through the cell anymore, and you get stuck because there's no more energy. And you know, so that's what was running through my mind. I think our thoughts and what we think about the foods that we're eating are super powerful. But at the end of the day, like I was not able to outthink my habits like as much as I wanted to. You know, and it helps to eat the good foods, and then it reinforces your thoughts about what you're doing. Like when you eat a healthy breakfast, right, you're like, oh, I'm proud of myself, like I am doing things to take care of myself. It reinforces positivity in your mind. You kind of outsmart your negativity, right? Going out in the sunlight, is one of the best ways to outsmart your negativity, because we're producing dopamine, we're producing serotonin. Like, you're literally creating motivation in your mind. And the same for exercise, but exercise is a little bit hard for some people. The consistency is hard for some people. So, even put your feet on the ground and just knowing, like, I'm connecting with the earth, I'm connecting with my body. And if you are on the struggle bus, like, cutting out certain foods can be very helpful. And if you're not able to do that, even just including things that can be helpful for you, like eating the full amino and fatty acid profile. Say you're addicted to Ben & Jerry's like I was years ago. What I tried to do is just start my day off as best as I could. Life takes you on throughout the day. You don't know what's going to happen. You fall into the same thought patterns at a certain point of time in the day, and it can be hard when you're not constantly paying attention to what you're doing, and you just do things out of habit, like going to the fridge, going to the pantry. I've been there. I've done it. I am still not perfect, and I still have habits, of course, that come up if I'm like, what is this? But starting off strong is super important, and especially that light signaling. So getting out in the sun, even if it's for a few minutes, right? Like, try and outsmart those bad habits by putting good ones in place in the morning. Even if it's just making your bed, you do something good for yourself, and your body produces dopamine. Oh my gosh, when you produce dopamine, like, you are shifting your hormones in your body. When you shift your hormones, you shift your gut flora. Like, isn't that crazy? I think it's crazy. I'm a little crazy sometimes, but that was what's going on in my mind today. I do hope this video is helpful for you. If it was, you can like, share, subscribe if you want to support this channel. You can send it to somebody who you might think is struggling with, like, their mental health, right? Physical health is mental health. And, send it to your grandparents. It's harder to get older on this earth. Send it to your parents. Aging is a disease, and there's ways to age more gracefully, right? I think, I'm so young, so people are like, what are you talking about? Like, you know nothing about this. But I've always felt for older people. I've always connected more with older people. And one day, everybody's going to get old, You're going to have to accept that your skin is getting wrinkly, and, things just aren't moving the way that they're supposed to be. So, but you can always work with that process, and I think it's a beautiful thing to get older. You get more wiser and whatever. So anyway, that's all I got. I do wish you the best of luck, and I will see you next time.